Hi, welcome back to another episode of Lake Acres. Well, the day has come to spread fertilizer and till up the field. I'm at home right now. Just have to grab a few tools that I'm going to need out there for adjusting the quick hitch and a couple implements, but we'll be hitting the road shortly, so let's get to it. We're probably going to need some sockets, I'm guessing. Since I don't know what size, I'll just have to take the whole thing. And if memory serves me right, I better grab a crescent wrench. I think that's all I need in here. I suppose I'll need one of these. And maybe one of these. Make sure the battery's charged. Yep, that's good. Need one of those GoPros I can wear. Oh, gotta get one of these. You know what? I better grab this too, just in case. I think I got some long measurements to take today. Well, I loaded a few more things that I thought I might need, and I can't think of anything else, which means I'm definitely forgetting something, but we'll just have to deal with it when we come to it. But I think I'm finally ready to take off, so let's head out there. And just like that, we're back. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta get this tiller unhooked. Gentle persuasion. Like I was saying in a previous video, each of my implements have their own hole position here. So I have to go look up what the position is for the spreader. So let's go look at that. Well, it looks like I forgot to actually write the hole position on this thing. So it's gonna be a little trial and error to get it hooked up. So, well, let's try and hook it up and see if it's in the right position. If it's not, then we'll have to adjust it, but it'll take a few minutes. One thing I do remember is this thing's kind of a pain in the butt to get on here. That might actually be in the right position right now. I'm going to start up tractor and lift up the 3-point and see if it falls into place. It might actually be one hole off. Yeah. I gotta go one hole up from there. I cannot wait to get a garage out here. It would make all of this so much easier. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about these quick hitches. They're nice when they work and when the implement is set up for the dimensions here, but the minute you need to start adjusting this up and down and these bottom parts don't perfectly line up, it almost causes more hassle than it's worth. Granted, the traditional 3-point hitch like this is a lot more work with every single time you hook it up, but I don't know. I'm just complaining. All right, take 2. This is definitely one of those instances where it's more of a pain than it is good, because it's hitting this bolt right here, and it's about as far this way as it can go. So I'm gonna have to like either just accept that it sits on that or kind of kick it around to get it to sit down, because it's not fully seated in both spots. As you can see, it needs to come down a little more, but it's resting on that stupid nut. So I'm gonna have to use a little more gentle persuasion. Started to remember last year, I think what I did was I actually kept this one hole down because of that. So this could sit further down so that it's not resting on the nut like that. And then each of these pins are sitting in their seats. So I think I'm gonna have to take that one down and just leave it. Definitely gonna have to get a new washer for that. I've decided right now I'm definitely gonna get those pins with lynch pins for next time, because it's not that this is difficult or it takes a lot of time. It's just one of those things where if you're doing it over and over and over, it's gonna add up for a lot of savings. All right, take 3. Well, before I start spreading any fertilizer, I think I'm going to give this a little spring TLC just to make sure everything's greased up and ready for the season. Oh, I just thought of something. Before I do anything, I'm going to write down 3 holes from the top. There. Now I won't have to wonder about that next year. sitting here thinking, man, this thing is tough to go on, but I suppose it'd help if I put it on the right way. There, I bet that thing will slip on now. Well, that goes on surprisingly easy when you put it on right. Old key actually worked pretty good for that. Should have really had an old rag out here, but another thing I forgot. Did I mention I can't wait to get a garage out here? All right, goes like this. Don't need any fertilizer pellets in there. I don't think that's going to act as a good lubricant. Well, that went quick. All right, hit a couple grease zerks and then we can put this PTO on. Looks like that was plenty full. I think I'm gonna have to take this PTO shaft off so I can get it greased, if I can get it off. There we go. It's not terribly accessible. Seems nice and full already, so that's good. I might hit this with some WD-40 and grease. It seemed a little rusty. Just remember I had some wipes in the truck. All right, this baby's ready to be put back on. PTO is hooked up, but I do see there's some leaves and garbage down in the bottom of this, so let's get that cleaned out real quick. That should be good enough. Well, we might as well test out the PTO while it's hooked up. Looks good. All right, let's load this thing up with some fertilizer. So I got about 460 pounds of fertilizer total across these 3 totes, which honestly, I only needed about 240 pounds, but the guy that was filling it up went a little overboard, but that's okay. Fertilizer's cheap, right? So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take these little buckets and I'm gonna scoop one at a time and throw them into the spreader here until this is liftable, and then I'll dump the rest in there. So, oh, camera died. You okay? I wonder if I got a dust mask here. I do not. Oh well. I'll just stop breathing. I could probably lift this now. All right, let's see if we can lift it. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get the last one in here. I bet I could. I tell you what, compared to yesterday, it's a gorgeous day out. It'd be nice to sit down by the lake today. My wife was wondering if we can get some Dairy Queen later, which sounded really good right now. Whew, it's gonna be close. Yeah, do a couple more scoops. Oof, that's just gonna barely fit. Well, I guess now I know that this thing can fit at least 460 pounds of fertilizer. I'm guessing if I wanted to top it off right to the brim, I could fit 500. But I think this is more than enough. I guess all we really have to do now is figure out the spread width when it's running and figure out how fast we need to drive to cover all of this across the field. So let's go figure all that out. So I think this year what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna lay out a piece of fabric, and then I'm gonna drive the fertilizer spreader up to it, and I'm gonna set the PTO and the RPM to what I think I want it to be, and then I'll turn it on briefly, shut it off, and then I'll get it to spread out, and then I'll measure how wide that spread is, and then I'll figure out how fast I need to go from there. Past number of times I've tried to calibrate that spreader, I haven't done a very good job, so I want to try and do a better job this year. I don't know if this is going to be more problematic than it's worth. I thought about just using the ground, but that's what I've done before in the past, and I don't know if it's that accurate or not. I have a feeling it was spreading further than I thought it was, so I wasn't getting an accurate width to the spread. I think I'm gonna need some rocks. All right, that's probably good enough. All right, I'm at 1300 RPM and my 3-point lever is at 3.5. So let's see what width we get with this. That should be enough. Okay, I'm definitely seeing fertilizer all the way past here. So it's definitely wide enough. I think the furthest I'm seeing is maybe about right here. I don't think I'm seeing any further, so I don't know. I'm gonna call the edge of this fabric probably the half of the width. So I'm gonna take the distance from the center of the tractor to here, times that by 2, and that should give me my full width. All right, back to what we were doing. Let's give this a measure real quick. I'm gonna say, I'll take 14 feet times 2, so 28 feet. It's gotta be at least what I can do. All right, let's go do some calculations. So after doing a little napkin math, with a 28-foot spread, I'll be producing 6 rows, 216 feet long, which should only take me a few minutes to get across the field at 3 miles per hour. I don't know the exact application rate with this spreader just because I'm not exactly sure the best way to go about that. I'd almost have to have a way to capture the fertilizer that's being spread out and then weigh that and then figure out for how long it's been running. It produced, you know, this many pounds per minute or whatever, but I'm not gonna go into that depth because it's literally just, I just need to get it on the ground and it's only about an acre, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I think last year I had it set down in the 4th row from the top on the little adjustment knob, so I'm gonna try that again this year. I think last year I ran out of fertilizer before I got to the end of the field, but I'm gonna go a little bit faster this year, so hopefully that'll compensate for it. So let's see how good I do this year. Well, here she is. It's a little windy out here right now, so hopefully the mic isn't going too crazy, but this is my little field. It's about 3/4 of an acre. It's not quite a full acre, but I am in the process of expanding to the west here. So once I get up to this tree line over here, I should have about a full acre to plant, but I still might just stick with this area here because I got future plans for this area. All right, let's get this spreader started. Well, I'm not really sure how this is gonna go, but we'll give it one pass and see where we're at with that. I guess my battery died while I was out there, but I did manage to spread the rest of that fertilizer. One thing I did notice while I was out there though is the soil is pretty wet still, so I don't know if I want a chance trying to till it up today. I think I'm gonna have to wait at least another day. Tomorrow's supposed to be nice and sunny and probably 75, 76, so I think I'm gonna try and till it up tomorrow afternoon. I think that'd be a better time. But I think I'm gonna call it a day. I think my wife and I are gonna get some Dairy Queen and go sit by the lake. So I'll see you tomorrow.